Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth inductee for 2010 to the Ovens and Murray Hall of Fame is Mr. Emmy DeFazio.
Emmy DeFazio had a remarkably humble beginning to a football career which would scale incredible heights at Benalla. In the mid-1960s, DeFazio, from strong Italian stock, literally walked out of the tobacco fields onto Benalla's home ground and wanted to learn to play the Australian game. He didn't even own a pair of boots at the time, but there is always room in any side for a player who has height on his side and the ability to learn quickly. DeFazio's timing was also spot on as Benalla began building towards something special under the coaching of Vern Drake at the start of the 1970s. A gentle giant in many eyes, DeFazio's undeniable strength regularly came to the fore against the opposition's best as he made the ball his primary focus, but heaven help anyone who stepped in his path. DeFazio was also resilient, once playing 134 games on the trot in a career spanning 251 matches, and was considered good enough to be asked to train with North Melbourne. He won an amazing 6 best and fairests at Benalla, and playing in the club's last slice of premiership glory in 1973 when the Demons upset North Albury in the grand final. That day, DeFazio was one of the grand final stars as he played his role to perfection in bringing the ball to ground for Benalla's dynamic brigade of running players to record a famous win. Emmy DeFazio, no doubt a favourite son at Benalla. Welcome to the Ovens and Murray Hall of Fame.
What a wonderful player this fellow was, a remarkable record with the Benalla Football Club. My memories of Emmy, and I think it's most people who would remember him play, I reckon it was like Benalla turned on a big old tractor about 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoons and they switched it off about 5 o'clock. It went the same pace, it went just as hard all the time. It was impossible to stop. And the mention of the gentle giant, well, I'm here to refute that. I don't think that was necessarily the case, Em. He's a wonderful player, an outstanding personality. It's just so terrific to see him here tonight and to be inducted in the Ovens and Murray Hall of Fame. And I know all of the Ovens and Murray football body will make him very, very welcome. Mr. Emmy DeFazio.
Thank you, Phil, for that introduction there. It was great, mate. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the Ovens and Murray Hall of Fame Committee for this great honour. It's, I don't know how to describe it, it's been tremendous. Never in my wildest dreams would I ever thought that turning up for training in 1965, aged 18, wearing just a pair of shorts, barefooted, and knowing very little about Aussie rules football, would be the beginning of such an important chapter of in my life. I would like to congratulate the other inductees tonight and those previously inducted on their personal achievements. A big thanks to so many who have had to make arrangements, altering working hours, etc., to be here tonight. So thanks to our son Darryl, and also to our daughter Lisa, who has travelled from Busselton, Western Australia, especially for tonight. Thank you. To our elderly mums for their effort. To my wife Jenny, for embracing my love of football and being so supportive. And a fantastic group of friends and family here with us tonight. There's 2 tables from Benalla and Surround District that support me. Thank you very much for that. I would like to thank my parents, brothers, and sister for their support during my early years in football. I have memories of my brother Mick being left in the dairy to finish off the milking. John and Laurie heading off home after playing in the seconds to get the milking started. John, Laurie and I had taken it in turns to drive or strip and change into our footy gear in the car to get to training on time. Our sister Teresa was left to do the washing, and she had to cook up a storm. Food was always high on our priority list. We could eat. Just ask some of the players over there from Benalla there. Yeah. All 7 of us would pile into the Holden station wagon on Saturday and head off to the footy with a few thermoses and lots of food. Our parents were keen to see us embrace the Aussie culture and friendship. Playing football and being involved with the Benalla Football Club was good. Then it was my wife Jenny and the children that we, as a family, enjoyed many football years together. And yes, food was still high on the priority list. I will never forget the look of astonishment from our football supporters as they watched me down a couple of pies and half a chook just before running out to play. That's where I got the stamina from, Phil. I think it was ahead of your time, I think. I would like to thank my first coach, Bronco Johnson, for investing so much of his time and energy in introducing me to Aussie Rules football and the Benalla Football Club, which I still love very dearly. Yeah, we play in the Almonds of Murray, I think, but anyway, we won't go there. Yeah, sure he's here. I would like to thank a fellow that I invited along here tonight, and he was runner-up to the Morris Medal to Bobby Rose, I think it was in 1960. His name was Richie Castles, for his endless efforts in trying to teach me to kick the football. I couldn't kick a soccer ball, let alone a footy. He had this dog, and I think it might have been what they call one of those little ones that run in the back of a truck when they're first born, you know, get the nose pushed in. He and his dog would be at one end of the oval, and I'd be up the other. Needless to say, the dog had a lot of exercise. Other football coaches that have had a major influence on my career that I must acknowledge are the late Vern Drake, a great coach, player, and a very personal friend, tremendous. Another one that I've got to mention here tonight, and he's had a great influence on my life as far as football and, generally speaking, we're great mates, is Billy Salmon. He had a great ability to know his players and know how to get the best out of them. I remember a particular incident when he coached Yarrawonga. We were playing him, it was in the final at Corroy. He knew me and my game well enough to position himself on a boundary throw-in and call fags, that was the nickname. I tapped the ball right to his chest and he kicked the goal against us. He still reminds me of it. I thought you didn't have a good memory, Trout. That was about 40 years ago. I have enjoyed playing with and against many great footballers in the Ovens and Murray League. It's a time I'll never forget. It's been tremendous to me and my family and all. Their comradeship and friendship has been and still is an important part of my life. A big thank you to Mick Stylo and Paddy Quirk for the informal get-togethers of past players that they instigated and organised annually. To John Welsh for organising the annual golf day in Myrtleford. It's tremendous. And in the local community, the friendship carrying through from our football days. To the organisers of this function tonight, a big thank you It's well organised, well run, and there's plenty of food, which is great. I was hoping, like Billy, I wasn't the first one called up because I was sick of having a second helping over there. So. The opportunity to share good times together is one of life's blessings. So thanks again for this great honour and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks. Emmy's hurrying back because he heard sweets are coming out. I must say it's terrific to see the Benalla people come in such numbers to support their champion. It's wonderful to see them. We know a lot of water's flowed under the bridge and we've gone different ways, but as far as the people who are part of the Ovens and Murray over the years, Benalla Football Club always has a very special part of our history and always will continue to do so. And indeed does that big gentleman who was just up here. You can see he's a very lovable sort of fellow. He was an outstanding player. He sells himself a little bit short. He was a terrific player, wonderful ability to tap the ball down. Anyone that can get Billy Salmon to kick a goal must have been able to tap the ball down. He very rarely had another ruckman to support him. He went from gate away all the way through. He was hard, tough, resilient, all those sorts of things. But he's a wonderful personality. He's made a terrific contribution to the Benalla Footy Club, and he has now a special part in the history of the Ovens and Murray Football League. A very welcome inductee, Mr. Emmy DeFazio.